PKA 642. Guests had trouble. No guests tonight, just the boys.
You asked about sleeping on your stomach. Do you ever sleep on your stomach, Taylor?
No, I sleep on my side.
Yeah, that's a real bitch move.
I was thinking about sleeping on like
if you
my
said
back.
You slept on your stomach.
You're off the show.
I'm off the show.
I mean, I would just leave. I don't care what.
No, I sleep on my side with my ass out.
You're back on.
And winking.
No, since I got the BPAP, I literally sleep like a vampire. Like not at first. Like at first, I'm usually cuddling Jackie in some way, and then this, and I sleep like this
You sleep
on
like
my back,
Nosferatu?
like not ankles together, just like a vampire.
See that? I
is it to protect yourself from the dog attacking you, or you always slept like a corpse?
No, it started with the CPAP thing. And I guess I could sleep like a soldier. I guess my chair stops my arms, but I tend to just do this, or maybe I grab a wrist.
No part of you wants to like, or I guess are the kind that you need. They don't even have a side sleeping option.
They have a side sleeping option. I view them as less attractive, and I'm trying to look good for my wife while asleep in the dark.
Turn that light out.
Yeah. Dude, it took me
honey,
years
there's so many lights on that fucking pressure mask you're wearing.
You got art.
What if it had lights on it?
Yeah. like a PC.
Like those useless sci-fi lights just all over it.
There's an exhaust. Where the hell is your exhaust? Like under your nose, and then there's another one here at like the top of your head. And if I am positioned wrong, the one on the top of the head can like touch a pillow or the headrest. That's what it's called, right? The headboard. Anyway, so it goes all night long because it's like a little bit obstructed. I hate that. I have to move immediately. And it's like, did anyone else hear? Does anyone else know that I have a BPAP on? This is like, it's a secret I'm keeping for the last decade.
Do you wake up if you roll onto your side? Do you wake up like?
No. I could probably sleep on my side. I probably have, but
I always sleep on my side.
Less air.
I usually have a pillow and like sort of one of these.
Yeah.
I thought back sleeping was the best.
Straight on my back,
and it's best for your back too. Like the side is a curvy spine.
I think the spine is naturally curved, going back to our snake ancestors.
It's true.
I sleep as my ancestors did, curled into a little coil.
Curled into a coil in the woods on wet leaves.
Sleeping on your side is the most
in my burrow.
In my burrow, when I hunt
with my younglings
for rodents.
Sleeping on the side is the most common sleep position. 54% of adults sleep on their sides. Its popularity might be because of inflexibility of the spine as we age. That part.
I think it's just
inflexibility.
They're making it sound like because as people get older, they're no longer able to lay down flat, so they're just like a teeter-totter on their curved spine, so they just end up rolling over like a C. Flop.
What's the healthiest sleep position?
Whatever gets you the most sleep, I bet. Like
upside down, being held by your feet, like Tom Cruise in your bariatric chamber.
No, you
it says side or back. Nobody wins.
Definitely. Well, stomach loses then, so we know that.
Yeah, I definitely like to curl up into a little protective ball in case I'm attacked in my sleep. My dogs will absolutely attack me while I'm asleep. They'll jump and like pounce with their feet on my chest, my balls, my stomach, my face. Like they'll just jump on me out of nowhere. So I'm sort of protectively curled up and protecting myself most of the time.
So
Enderman sleeps between Jackie and I and puts his head on my chest. It is very clear I'm his favorite. Like like she tries to say she's Enderman's favorite, and she's like, "You love me more, don't you?" And like 100% of the time, he's like, "No." He'll come over to me instead. He'll like leave her mid sentence and go get love and affection from me.
I gave Toby a haircut. I shaved him down, and his ears were matted, so I had to shave him all the way down with no guard. And so now his ears that used to be covered with thick fur are just naked, and I'll like massage his ears in my hand, and he just goes, "Oh, that's the good stuff." It's like you can tell every time you do it, or if you use your nails to like scritch his ears, he's just like, "Oh yeah, wow." It's his favorite thing. He loves it so much.
Enderman loves it when you scratch behind his ear, but it's a problem. It's like, first of all, he's tall, but he leans over and puts his head just a little too low for it to be a comfortable ear scratching, and is heavy, and he's leaning into it. So it's like having a 45 or something doing bicep curls, just like scratching his ear as this dog pushes down against your arm. And after a few seconds of it, it's like, boy, like if you'd cooperate a little more, I'd do this longer. But as it is, we're done.
That's such an enormous fucking dog you have.
Yeah. He's pony sized.
This guy that I've got, after I got him shaved down, he's much lankier than I thought, but he's very tall and just a goofball. Yeah. I love that dog. I think this might be my favorite dog I've had. He's great.
Oh, that's sweet.
He's got a really good personality, and he's just really loving.
Don't let Rocky hear that, though.
Well, Rocky's great too. Rocky's got a lot of personality, but he's also like pretty old, so he likes to lay there a lot and do a lot of sleeping, which I can get down with. I'm a big fan of those things myself.
He naps with you.
Everybody naps with me. I took my sectional couch the other day and made it into a mega couch where I just, instead of an L, I turned it in on itself and just put them together.
Oh, we used to do that.
And then I just threw blankets and pillows and everything all over it. And then the dogs and I get onto mega couch, all five of us, and they're just all over me. And then the mailman, son of a bitch, he'll show up outside, and then everybody just jumps up, like
scratching you on the way out,
like tearing me apart to get to a mailman who's on the other side of a wall. And I was asleep, and like one of them kicked me in the dick, and the other scratched my eyeball. And it's like, why y'all do this to me?
Oh, my Amazon package is here.
Thank you, Toby, for alerting me.
What if there's a bone?
And just fucking awful. And then here's last night, dead asleep. I'm asleep downstairs on the couch, passed out, watching Turin play fucking video games. And at about 4 a.m., I hear,
oh no!
And this dog is just vomiting on the hardwood right next to where I'm sleeping, and I can hear it hit the floor. There is so much vomit. and I it's pretty dark, so I take my phone. I'm just like, oh, on
the carpet.
You just need to glance at the vomit to see how much it is. She has thrown up her entire like dinner. It's like, how did you even eat that much? So got that all cleaned up, and it's hard to get back to sleep. So watch like 10 more minutes of YouTube, fall back to sleep. 5 a.m.
Oh,
the other one vomits.
The other one. Maybe the food's off.
Yeah, we're gonna go to some new food now because the kind I have isn't expensive enough.
No, I'm
just gonna start cooking them people food. It'd be cheaper than some of the dog food I end up with.
You should, if you just threw like chicken and just made them like ground beef or some cheap
I don't think
shit.
they can just eat that though. They need like grains and veggies. They're omnivores, I think. So they're supposed to get. They definitely can't be on a carnivore diet like wolves can. Wolves. That's the thing about having a wolf dog. I believe they're on a 100% raw meat diet. A raw
pain
meat
in the
diet.
ass that would be.
Yeah,
How
it's
expensive.
a real luxury. It's a real luxury pet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people impulse buy wolves unless they're the kind of person who like is so wealthy that like they impulse buy all sorts of things. They don't just impulse buy wolves. They impulse buy boats and cars and shit.
Yeah.
People like Mike Tyson, he bought tigers.
Was exactly what I was thinking of with the tigers,
which is a cool thing to own. It is cool to own a tiger. It's pretty. Where did he keep it?
In his house, like there on the grounds. He was talking about the difference between lions and tigers. It's fascinating. It's one of the these days he's often a little druggy, so it's kind of hard to get interesting things out of him. You get funny things, but I like retrospective Mike Tyson, who's got all of his wits about him. And he said, lions, they live in a pack. So they join your pack. And as long as you're the boss and they know you're the boss, they'll stay in line and they'll look after the other members of the pack. Tiger, they have one-on-one relationships. Me and him are good. Y'all don't want to fuck with him, though. Stay away from him. Don't look at him.
Don't look at my tiger.
Don't look at him.
Did Tyson think that he had like a defense against the tiger? I mean, he's the toughest guy in the world, maybe.
I mean, at the time he was beating the shit out of everyone. He could be that
said
stupid.
Something one time, like what did he say? I can't remember. He may have thought he could beat up his tiger. He might have thought that, but of course he can't because it's a tiger.
Or he was just talking big for promotion stuff. You'd have to be a real dummy.
I never saw Mike lie too much. He didn't have to. You know, he's already such a big, scary. Like his resume was there. He didn't need to make up some shit for you to be afraid of Mike Tyson. Like his appearance and demeanor and background and just what he did in the ring were all terrifying. You know, that gap in his teeth was so scary to me. Like everything about him was scary.
The towel's scary to me. Everyone else is coming out in these extravagant outfits, right? These like silk robes and silk shorts, and like I don't know, they wear crowns. Nowadays, when you watch a heavyweight fight like Tyson Fury and the other guy, they're wearing 10-foot tall cosplay costumes with stilts that weigh 30 pounds, or one guy's on a throne, like a big velvet throne getting carried by people. Tyson would like cut a hole in a towel, throw it over his shoulders and walk out there. And it was just like minimalist in a scary way. Like, I'm about
I ain't gonna be here long to look at.
he was like, you know, the Stallone that trained in the woods or something. Like I don't need a fucking crown or a silk robe to be a badass. You think he raped that woman?
I don't think he did.
I don't know. So I used to think he did. Now I'm like, oh, this is a guy who could get sex without that. Like, and so a lot of times people who rape either can't get laid or they hate women. And I don't think either of those describes Tyson.
I don't either. I don't think he's or it's often, you know, someone who wants to do that violence to a woman, who wants to control a woman or hurt her in some way. And I don't think that of him either, even that version of him. And I've heard him speak on that and like talk about what a despicable thing they call him and how that'll be on my name forever. That'll be on my name forever for that despicable thing that treacherous whore said about me. Like, or whatever he said. He's a little, he can become rather verbose at times. It's fun listening. His one-man show. Taylor, tell me you've seen Mike Tyson's one-man show.
I didn't know he had a one-man show.
Okay, so that's how he rebuilt his career. No, it was the first step to becoming modern Mike because all right, so there was Hangover Mike, there was Tattooed Mike, and there was Mike the Loser. That's who he was in the early 2000s. He had lost every time he tried. He was on drugs. We didn't even know he was ruined. We thought financially, physically, emotionally, all that stuff. And he comes out with this one-man show that's on HBO, I think. It was after the Hangover stuff, but he is in a suit and he is telling his life story in one of those. He's got like the mic on a headset kind of thing, and he's doing it's a performance, and he's good. It's so good. It really brought him back to allow him to become the modern Mike Tyson that he is.
I would not invest in trains. I think that trains is a great hobby for.
Do you really?
No, I would not invest in trains. You're against the rules. I'm calling brown shirts.